Today is April 25th, 2022, and the time now is 7:04 p.m. This is a hearings meeting of the Springfield City Council. We'll get started with the Madam Clerk, please taking the roll. I think our clerk just joined us as well. Madam Clerk, if you would be so kind, please take the roll.
Councilor Perez.
Present.
Present. Councilor Letterman.
Present.
Present. Councilor Curran.
Present.
Present. Councilor Walsh. Absent. Councilor Brown.
Present.
Present. Councilor Davila. Absent. Councilor Hurst.
Present.
Present. Councilor Edwards.
Present.
Present. Councilor Allen.
Present.
Present. Councilor Govan.
Present.
Present. Councilor Fenton.
Present.
Present. Councilor Whitfield. Absent. Councilor Williams.
Present. Madam Clerk, can I have a head count on that?
We've got 9.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Madam Clerk. With that being said, at this time, will our councilors and guests please rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, everyone. We can get started with that. Madam Clerk, can you please call item number 1?
Item number 1 is petition for Myrtle Street.
Can you acknowledge me first, Counselor?
Oh, yes,
Please.
Councilor Whitfield, thank you.
Councilor Whitfield.
Present.
Present.
All right, with that being said, if there's anyone present to speak to this petition, please state your name and address for the record. Councilor Letterman, did you have a?
I did, Mr. President. I just wanted to report on the subcommittee meeting that was held on this item last week.
Please do prior to Mr. Velez, yes.
Thank you. So this item was referred to the Maintenance and Development Committee at our last hearings meeting. It's not a special permit, it's a petition. So we were able to hold a subcommittee meeting to get some more clarification. And we were joined by a member of the committee, Councilor Perez, as well as Deputy Commissioner Solo Dennis and Tony Petaway from HHS. And they were able to give a lot more clarity to their proposal. Essentially, at this time on the street, there's very little legalized parking at all. One whole half of the street is actually no parking from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. the whole day because of a previous building use. And then at the further end of the building is a loading zone and then just a couple of spaces that the HHS department would like to be able to use for visitor parking throughout the day, but right now is usually occupied because of the fact that there's no parking anywhere else. What the proposal in the petition would do is remove the parking restriction at the other end of the street, open that up 24 hours, free parking for anybody in the area. And then it would keep the loading and handicap zones by HHS and make 4 metered parking spaces between business hours for visitors to HHS that would then become free after 6 o'clock, I believe, maybe 5 o'clock. Tony can speak to that. But that was gave us a lot more information than we had in the original meeting. And Councilor Perez and I did refer the item back to the full committee for the will of the body.
All right, thank you, Councilor Letterman. Would Mr. I think Petaway, you said, Councilor Letterman, or is there anyone from this that would like to speak to this item?
Well, thank you. This is Tony Petaway. Thank you. Permit me to introduce myself. Lifelong resident. Currently, I live in the neighborhood on Maple Street. I've been with the department 25 years as of June 2nd of this year. We've currently occupied the space now for 3 years. As the councilor did mention, it was previously under the directive and control of the high sheriff at that time. The vacant building of 12 years, developed some habits by the locals in terms of no enforcement and parking from one end until the other. Since our occupation, what the counselor mentioned, Councilor Letterman, we have some challenges around free parking for the citizens, as the signs do say, no parking from 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. daily, which has put a strain on us, the department. We have employee parking in our lot for 21 possible opportunities. We now have 25 cars to contend with. With that and vandalism to employees' cars from folks who are now looking for parking from the community and visitations, we'd like to put this petition before the council to ask for what was shared by the counselor and the committee.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Petaway, for that testimony. Are there any questions at this time from the council? All right, seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll to accept the petition?
On accepting the petition, Counselor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh, absent. Counselor Brown?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila, absent. Nope, Counselor Davila.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Mr. President, do I have to be recognized first?
Oh, yes, please, Madam Clerk, can you please recognize Councilor Davila?
Counselor Davila.
Present.
Present.
And yes.
And yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Williams.
Yes, the petition is approved. Thank you all who joined for that particular item. Madam Clerk, can you please call the next item before us?
The next item is for a special permit to operate an adult use marijuana establishment at a portion of the property known as 299 Page Boulevard.
All right, Madam Clerk, I'm just going to ask you to help me with some numbers here. I know Councilors Brown, Councilors Fenton are recused for this item. Can you let me know where the numbers stand?
We have, now that Counselor Davila has been acknowledged, we have the 9.
We have just 9, and
9, yep.
9 is needed for passage here on this particular item. All right. Oh, with that being said, the petitioner present for item number 2.
We're present.
Page Cultivate.
We are.
Okay, Mr. Silverman, I just wanted to let you know that there are 9 counselors who are present to vote for this item. And you also need 9 votes for passage. So I just wanted to give you the opportunity to either go along with the item on the agenda now, or perhaps further.
I'm going to ask Mr. Fitzgerald, who's my co-counsel here, if he wants to weigh in on this with us.
Please do.
Frank? Frank, can you unmute yourself?
Fitzgerald, you're not muted. Mr. Fitzgerald, you're on mute.
How am I
There
doing
you
now?
There you go.
So if I'm correct, Mr. President, there's 9 counselors available.
Madam Clerk, can you confirm that?
With Counselor Davila would be 10.
Now
since-
there's
Yeah, now
10.
there's 10.
Okay,
There's
there are
there's
10.
10.
Yes.
And Mr. Fenton and Mr. Williams are recused anyway.
There's 2 recused and there's 1 absence with Counselor Walsh. So again, this is a courtesy we've allowed for others. So I don't know if you want to further continue it, but there are 10 counselors and you need 9 for passage.
Well, I think I would prefer, on behalf of my client, to have all the counselors present that could vote.
So with Counselor Walsh, all right. So there is only 1 other counselor that would be able to vote on this, Counselor Walsh. So with that being said, and hearing that for the record, counselors, can I please entertain a motion then to continue this item?
So moved.
Motion made by
Second.
Counselor Davila, seconded by Counselor Govan. Madam Clerk, can you please call the continuing this item?
I'm continuing the item. Counselor Perez?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Letterman?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Curran?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Walsh absent. Counselor Brown recused. Counselor Davila?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Hurst?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Edwards?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Govan?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Fenton recused. Counselor Whitfield?
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Williams?
Yes, the item has been continued. Everyone will let you know when the next date is scheduled for, but appreciate that. Madam Clerk, can you please?
Thank you.
The next item is item number 3 for a special permit to operate a medical office, clinic, or treatment facility with no overnight stay at the property known as 90 Corando Drive.
All right, thank you. If there's anyone present to speak to the special permit, please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, council. My name is Sonetta Carey Covington. I am housed at 27 Lyman Street, Springfield, Mass. 01103. I'm looking to occupy 90 Corando Drive.
Thank you for your testimony. With that being said, Madam Clerk, I'll first ask, have we received any testimony for those in favor of this special permit?
We have not.
Right, have we received any in opposition?
No, we have not.
All right, at this time, I will turn over to the council body for any questions for the petitioner. Councilor Fenton.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ma'am, would you just mind summarizing for us the extent of the services that would be provided at this location, as well as a summary of the current use? I understand there's an upcoming meeting of the East Springfield Neighborhood Council on this, and I think we're excited to meet with you and talk with you about this project. But in the meantime, if you could just give us a brief summary of the current use at the site and what uses you'll have under your medical proposal for this location.
Okay, under proposal, basically it started out as a medical laboratory services where I would do minimal drug screenings for in DOT physicals and just preliminary physicals and drug screening for upcoming employers. And then it kind of got bigger. I am a registered nurse and I kind of have a thing for detox and overall health and wellness. So I added some features such as vaginal rejuvenation, ionic detox, and colonics. That is basically what I would be bringing to that Springfield area. I actually have a lab that is probably within a couple of feet from me. The Concentra is right there. So I had to expand the thought process. I am not able to act at all, although I have the building secured without having a permit from you guys. And I have had it since April.
Councilor Fenton, are you done?
Yeah, thank you very much for that. So will there be a prescription of any medication at this site? I know there's no overnight stays, but will you fill any prescriptions at this site?
Absolutely not. I do not have prescriptive authority at all.
Okay, and what are your proposed hours of operation?
I have a 9 to 6 on Monday through Friday, a 10 to 4 on Saturdays, and a 24/7 on call where I'll go wherever you need me to go for any drug screening, which includes like at fault accidents on the job. So availability 24/7.
Oh, thank you very much. Sounds terrific. Look forward to meeting you at the East Springfield meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Fenton. Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm just curious as far as how How long have you been over there in business, and you own it? Is it just you?
I am the primary executive officer for this business. I secured the building actually in August of last year, and have not been able to be open due to following this permit through Mr. Phil Dromey. I was unaware of the things that would inhibit me from being able to open because of the permits and the new standard that is set forth for the city of Springfield due to previous cases before me.
Okay. Do you have, how many employees? Do you have employees?
I do have 3 on board right now. It includes myself and 2 medical assistants.
Okay. I definitely commend seeing Black women in business, and I'm definitely honored to have you in front of me, and I hopefully you work with the neighborhood council and everything, and the counselor in the area, and this will be a successful venture. Just let me know if there's anything I can do. Thank you, Mr.
Yes.
President.
All right, thank you, Councilor Brown. Are there any other questions at this time for the petitioner, Councilor Allen?
Thanks, Mr. President. Yes, couple questions for you. Is this a single operation, like an independent operation that would be housed only here, or do you have affiliation with other offices, et cetera?
I actually am a part of a network of other mini labs that have incorporated all over the United States. So no, it's not just a single entity. We both refer in and out clients to come. We are a part of the NDASA, which is the National Trucking Association, in which we'll have truckers come into the city of Springfield that will have to get drug screened or have their occupational health issues resolved for their licensure. So being a part of the NDOT command center allows us to have truckers come in and we assess them and get that information back over to National Truckers Society so that they can drive safely.
Thank you. And just to follow up on that, are truckers your main clients, or do you offer services to more than truckers?
It will actually be comprised of about 50%. I plan to try to tap into the city of Springfield with the welfare services so that we can do DNA and paternity testing. That is also something that we do with the lab portion of it. So I plan to actually expand a little bit more into the city and with the city to help us with those drug screens also for parents that are going through those substance abuse problems and they have to be drug tested on a regular basis.
And is there a great need for that in that community?
In Springfield, yes, there is a substance abuse issue. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I'm all set, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Are there any other questions from the council at this time? Councilor.
Did they go on?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. President. So my question, I guess, has to do with the treatment, because you rightly noted there is a substance abuse problem here in the city of Springfield and in the country at large. But you're not providing any treatment, right? You're just doing the drug screenings?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then the other treatment that you mentioned, that sounds to me like it's more holistic. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's all I needed.
All right. Thank you, Councilor Govan. Councilor Letterman.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I want to thank Ms. Covington for appearing. It's certainly been interesting to hear about how your business started and how you've expanded it. Is very impressive. And certainly we'll look forward to getting to a final vote in the very near future. I actually just wanted to ask a question of Mr. Dromey, if he's on the line, because as Ms. Covington mentioned, this is a new standard. And so I just wanted to understand, how are we getting the word out, Phil, to individuals that are in the position of Ms. Covington so that we can make sure we have as little disruption to their business as possible in the future? At what point do people become aware that they necessarily need a special permit? I understand on other projects it would make sense because people are pulling building permits or something like that. But for this medical office use, how are we notifying individuals?
Well, this would require a building permit as well for a change of use I'm not sure what was in this building originally, but I think it started with the building department through the change of use. It also might have been an email as well. Like this does go back a little ways, so I'm not 100% sure. But again, most of them get triggered at the building department.
Okay, I just want, maybe we can talk a little more offline about that. Just something that just struck me when this coming to made that point, and this is only the second permit we've heard on this particular piece. So I just wanted to make sure we're on top of that. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Councilor Letterman. Councilor Davila.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Covington, good evening, and thank you for your presentation. Just have a quick question. I believe that you said that you're going to be servicing the trucking industry, correct? With testing?
Yes, sir.
And I see that that's a very busy thorough that you're going to be on 90 Carolina Drive. There's not going to be no 18-wheelers coming in and out of there, right? It's just
well, one of the
I'm just
things
trying to
that,
think the logistics.
yes, that was one of my concerns initially, because there would be no parking for them to be able to. One of the things on the site, I definitely have on the site the ability to not be able to bring their tractor trailers down that street on 90 Carolina, because it is a busy area. So they're going to be instructed as to leave their trailers wherever they park them, and then be able to navigate to the facility and get what they need to have done. So it has been addressed early on.
Okay, good. Now, are they going to be able to have their results within a couple hours, 24 hours?
Within 24 hours, they'll have their results, because I have to get them back over to the NDOT. Yeah, DOT.
DOT. All right, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you, Councilor Davila. Are there any other questions at this time? Seeing none, is there any further deliberation? Also seeing none, I will entertain a motion now to continue the item.
I'll make a motion to continue the item.
Councilor Perez, second.
All right, motion made by Councilor Whitfield, properly seconded by Councilor Perez. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll to continue this special permit?
On continuing the item, Councilor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Kern?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Walsh, absent. Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Williams?
Yes, the special permit has been continued. Madam Clerk, can you please call the next item before us?
The next item is item number 4 for a special permit for the construction of a townhouse development of more than 10 units at the properties known as South Side Morris Street and North Side Morris Street, and North Side Central Street.
All right, is there anyone present to speak to the special permit? Please state your name and address for the record.
Present. My name is Jasper McCoy. I'm currently at 123 Mulberry Street, and name and address, right? That was it?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. So I work for Home City Development as a project manager. This is the project I'm currently managing. It's Gemini Townhomes. Home City has a wide history of doing affordable housing as a nonprofit in the Springfield area for the last 50 years. We recently completed the construction of Brookins and are currently in the lease up of that, as well as we're in the process of 275 Chestnut making SROs in that unit property. And we've done a lot of other developments like Twigs and Tapley over the city of the last 15 years. This is a new affordable housing project of 40 units total. They're all townhomes for homeowners in the affordability range of 70% to 100% AMI. The special permit is before you. I think you guys have had the opportunity to review them, all of our details. Outside of that, I have our architectural and engineering team here, as well as Ellen Fryman, to talk about our legal issues.
Great, thank you, Mr. Boy. Are there any, at this time, I'll turn it over to the council body. Councilor Fenton, I saw your hand up. Did you have?
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to say that I'm recused from this. My employer represents the petitioner. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, can you please note that for the record? All right. Are there any questions from the council at this time? And I will ask
May I?
Councilor Letterman.
May I? Part of the applicant.
Sure. Yes, Ms. Fryman, feel free.
Thank you. Sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, I just wanted to a couple of things. One is that, so this is for a special permit for the youth. And then at the time that we submitted this application, we were still tweaking some of the drawings as far as the dimensions. And there are some variations that we're going to need, some slight changes regarding the dimensional requirements. So we are coming back to the next meeting, the next hearings meeting. City Council has the ability to waive certain dimensional requirements. So we'll be bringing that forward, but tonight is the special permit. That, and then also one of the conditions is that the permit runs to the applicant only. And heard me ask that before, but because of the nature of the project, these are going to be condominiums that will be for sale. We would the applicant to be able to transfer the permit so that we ask that the condition change to be to run to the applicant and assessor and successors and assign. I have done that for the City Council has granted that to us before, and that helps us in financing it and being able to sell the units.
Right. So thank you, Ms. Fryman. Appreciate your testimony. Thank you. Are there any questions from the council at this time?
Yeah.
Councilor Allen?
Yes. Yes. Hello?
Yes, Councilor Allen.
All right, thanks, Mr. President. I was just wondering if I could ask Phil Dromey to comment on that special permit request.
The change of the petitioner?
Yeah, so, well, the request that Ms. Fryman just made about, not having it go, I think having it go with the land and not being able to not have to transfer.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. These housing projects are kind of a little different animals. So that, and specifically with this one, which I kind of overlooked the fact that these are actually condominiums, which would be privately owned. So it does make sense to amend that condition.
All right, great. Okay, then I would like to make a motion to submit that amendment to amend that condition in the way that she just described it.
Second the motion.
All right, there is proposed amendment that's been properly proposed by Councilor Allen, that's been properly seconded by Councilor Edwards. Madam Clerk, can we please call the roll on accepting that amended condition?
On accepting the amended condition, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Kern.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Walsh, absent. Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton, recused. Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Williams.
Yes, the condition has been accepted. Are there any other questions for the petitioner at this time? Councilor Letterman.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and thank you to Jasper and Ellen for their presentation. I think we're all excited about this project. We know that we have a really critical need for housing at every level here in the city of Springfield, and I think that this particular area of really affordable home ownership is especially important right now. The question I had at this stage, do you yet know kind of what price point these will be coming in at when they are for sale? You explained the income restriction and qualification to be able to bid on them, but do we know what price point they'll come in at and how individuals will be selected to move forward with purchasing?
Yeah, absolutely. If I may answer this question now, or did you did you have extra on the questions?
The only other question I have is related. It would be a follow-up would be once individuals are selected and move through that process, are there any restrictions on them going forward in terms of their ownership, ability to resell, things like that?
Those are the exact questions that I was going to rattle off answers to. So currently the AMI is 70 to 100. According to 2021 AMI, which we just have updates as of last week that we're now conforming into our numbers. But in the 70% at the lowest, at exactly 70, it was $140,000 at the highest that we could sell it to, which would still be affordable within that range. And at 120 AMI, which we're no longer doing, it was at 263,500, which was an affordable range. And we're within that range still, but we're adjusting things as we are adding in the 2022 numbers. As far as the restrictions on any homeowners, we have a 15-year affordability restriction that is according to our funder, Mass Housing, and that is on the unit itself. So anyone that wants to sell or buy that unit has to be within the affordability range of 70 to 120 AMI. As far as our project is going, we're only going between the range of 70 and 100 AMI altogether. So does that answer your question?
It does. How are people selected? How do we understand who will get to actually purchase?
I apologize, that is something I forgot. So there is a lottery process where everybody is entered into a lottery and it is chosen at random. You have to prove your eligibility, go through home buyer training courses, and then also a condo management training, and then you will be approved for a purchase and sale. So the lottery happens, then you go through all your training after you're selected in a full application. You buy the purchase and sale, then there's 15 years of affordability on your unit.
To enter the lottery, do you have to have any other qualifications beyond the AMI? Do you have to be pre-approved with a bank, or do you help with that after people are selected?
So currently we're still in conversations with CHAPA about the exact organization and process of the lottery. We were told one thing, which was a little bit more open, and we're trying to make that fight so that more people are eligible to apply for the lottery at the beginning. So one of the things that they had wanted was a pre-approval up front, and we're trying to make sure and push back that people are able to apply for the lottery without that pre-approval. And then in the time period from their application to when this home sales actually happen, they'll have 6 to 8 months to actually get all their ducks in a row.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds better to me. Because certainly, even the pre-approval process for first-time buyers can be challenging. And so I think if folks could, know that they have that possibility, certainly would bring a wider pool of applicants. Those are my questions for now. I'm sure we'll have more later, but thank you so much.
I do also want to mention the fact that we're working with a local minority-owned Homes Logic, who's a real estate broker, who will be assisting all of the applicants in the lottery process, but then also help them to understand how they can get their ducks in a row to actually buy the home.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Letterman. Councilor Govan.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I just want to commend, Home City Housing for bringing more affordable housing to the city. I really like this project, and I have actually visited Home City Development and saw a lot of their projects, and they're just beautiful and they're nice. I'd really like them to come out and maybe do more stuff around the city, which is, I think, exciting and needed. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilor Govan. Are there any other questions at this time? Seeing none, is there any further deliberation? Also seeing none, I will then entertain a motion to continue this item as well.
Motion to continue.
Motion made by Councilor Edwards, seconded by Councilor Allen. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll to continue this item?
On continuing the item, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Walsh, absent. Councilor Brown. Councilor Brown. Away, Councilor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Councilor Brown.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes. Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Recused.
Recused, Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Williams.
Yes, this item has been continued. Thank you, counselors. Next item, please, Madam Clerk.
The next item is for a special permit for a car wash at the properties known as 1090 Boston Road and Northside Boston Road and Westside Ramsgate Street.
All right, is there anyone present to speak to the special permit? If so, please state your name and address for the record.
Mr. President, councilors, my name is Kathy Bernardo. I'm attorney at Bulkley, Richardson and Jelinas, here representing Garnett Reynolds Holding LLC as the petitioner for the special permit. Also here representing the petitioner is James Canning, principal and manager of the entity, and also Brady Carlucci, project manager of the construction team, and he is from 7 Multi-State Solutions. Garnett Reynolds is under contract to purchase 1090 Boston Road, and if successful in its petition of a special permit, would like to construct an automated tunnel car wash. Plans have been submitted to the Office of Planning and Economic Development, and as noted in the summary in the packet, it is a favorable recommendation with some conditions, which Mr. Drome, if you would like to speak to, we can go over. But if the council has any questions regarding this project, we would be happy to answer them at this time.
I appreciate your testimony. Thank you. Councilor Davila, I'll pass it to you.
I just have a point of information, Mr. President. I see in my packet, I don't have any information on this particular item other than the special permit tax certification. I just want to make sure that I don't have anything. I couldn't tell you what this project is. I don't have any.
Madam Clerk, can you speak to that? I don't know if that's everyone's packet as well.
It's in the online agenda, Mr. President. I can.
I also believe.
Yeah, I
emailed that out as well.
It has been emailed and it is online.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at both right now. I looked online, I looked at the email, the clerk saying I don't see it unless. Let me look. I will look back, Mr. President. Let me keep looking. Maybe I'm not seeing it.
And Councilor, just as a point of information too, this is also, on for continuance, so it allows opportunity at this time. You're welcome. Are there any other questions at this time from the council?
I just want to hear their presentation, Mr. President.
Sorry, Councilor Letterman.
Well, I know they said they had some things to share. I
believe she was speaking to the conditions that need to be adopted. So I think she was done with her presentation. Am I correct?
I am, unless the councilors have some questions regarding specificity of the project. We have our construction manager here and the principal, and happy to answer any questions you may have. The property is currently vacant at this time, and I hope everyone has the opportunity to review the plans and the renderings, and I think it would be a favorable addition to that area of Boston Road.
Thank you, Councilor Brown. I'll pass it to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Were you able to speak with any of the neighborhood council and the ward councilor?
Mr. Carlucci can speak to this more so than I can, but my understanding is that the petitioner actually reached out to the homeowners association asking for some feedback and to start a dialogue, but no one had responded. Is that correct, Mr. Carlucci?
That is correct.
And how about the ward councilor?
I am not aware, Mr. Carlucci. Do you know if anybody had spoken to the ward councilor?
I will have to follow up. I didn't when we had spoken with Phil about the who we should reach out to. We weren't aware to go to the ward counselor as well.
And I'm sorry, may I, Mr. President?
I'm
I believe
sorry.
this is my ward.
Well, yeah,
Counselor Govan. Counselor Brown, if you would like Counselor Govan to add a few remarks, I believe she's the ward counselor.
yes, go ahead. Because the only reason, I'll yield. The only reason why I asked, go ahead, Counselor. Go on.
No, it's just, I wasn't approached, and I know usually on Boston Road, depending on what part of it, it will actually, the petitioners will usually reach out to the Citizens Council, and we have not been reached out to. So I'm not sure if that's further down Boston Road, which might be the Pine Point Council. But we'd be glad to take a look at it and see what the abutters might think.
Yeah.
Happy to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you.
And what quickly adding, Mr. President, if I may.
Yes.
It's very important when you're doing projects like this, if you can't, to make sure that you reach out to the counselors, at least even the both of the Counselor Govan, I believe Counselor President Williams, just to make sure if you're having a hard time getting across to the actual constituents, I would still want you guys to at least reach out to them also. Thank you, Mr. President.
And I can confirm it was the Pine Point who we had reached out to, specifically pinepointcc@gmail.com, both emails and phone calls with no response.
Mr. Carlucci, can you just please state your name and address for the record? I'm sorry.
Yes, I apologize. Brady Carlucci, address is 16 Wellington Ave, Dover, New Hampshire.
All right, thank you. All right, Counselor Allen.
Thanks, Mr. President. Yeah, for Brady or for the attorney from Bulkley Richardson, Attorney Bernardo, is this a new attempt at a car wash, or is this part of a chain, or, could you just talk a little bit about the business connection here?
Mr. Canning, would you like to discuss the corporate structure?
Hi, this is James Canning, 885 William Street, Longmeadow, Massachusetts. So this is, we have a few other sites in New York and then a couple in Maine as well, along with some others in development right now. And so this would be our first in the Springfield, Massachusetts area, which we're excited about because we think it brings lots to the community and will give a good experience to the customer base in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Does it offer any other services besides a car wash?
We offer free vacuums as well, but it's a tunnel car wash with the latest and greatest equipment, which obviously leaves a clean car and our customers satisfied.
All right, great, thank you.
Of course.
All right, thank you, Counselor Allen. Counselor Letterman.
Thank you, Mr. President. So is this fully self-serve, or is there an attendant management on site?
Yeah, the site is attended by usually 3 to 5 employees. There's a manager on site, and so we usually staff the pay station, so where you transact, and then we have other staff on site to make sure the customer experience is as positive as possible.
And what are your proposed hours of operation?
Monday through Saturday is 7:30 to 7, depending on weather. And then Sunday is 8 to 5. And then holidays we adjust.
Okay. And then this is sort of directly abutting 5 Mile Pond. So you have a pretty large waterway there. What safeguards do you have in place in terms of your drainage and just avoiding any cross-contamination with the water source? As well as, litter blowing from the location as people are cleaning things out. I'm mainly concerned with actual chemical contamination, but I am also curious about what safeguards you'll have in place from folks clearing out their cars.
But Brady, you want to speak to just the...
Yes, I can speak to the site design. So with our site plan, specifically with the intent of stormwater, we would be maintaining stormwater and discharging as approved through the city, as well as using on-site infiltration to not have just surface runoff completely from the site. for the maintenance of where the trash would be collected, which is where the vacuum stalls are. Part of the maintenance plan for the site will include monitoring those trash bins that are being filled up, as well as being removed daily. So any trash that is accumulated is collected by staff on site. As for the car wash internally itself, there would be no cross-contamination possible from the wash occurring inside. All of the chemicals and water are channeled internally through the tunnel, and then are collected with a large percentage of that being reused and recycled for future washes.
So I want to see the technical plans on that, and then relative to the hours of operation, they sound good. I do see that the amended conditions allow for possible operation up until 10 o'clock p.m., which is later than all of the other car washes on that street. That may have just been put in there as a standard, but we don't have to do it tonight. But at the final hearing and in consultation with Councilor Govan, I think we should amend that condition to be a little bit more in line with what you are actually proposing for your hours of operation and the hours of operation of other facilities along the street. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Letterman. Councilor Davila.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening. These are the great mind things alike. I was going to ask exactly the same question as Councilor Letterman just asked about the water preservation. That's critical important to all of us. But as I'm looking through the renditions, which I found, by the way, Mr. President, and thank you to the clerk and Phil for getting it to me. Can you guys talk to me more about your traffic mitigation plan, please?
Yes. So as part of this, we've used a third-party traffic engineer to review the site, and based on the traffic counts on Boston Road, the mitigation methods would include signage, as well as having expanded stacking, with the intent that stacking would not go back onto Boston Road. So any cars that would be coming into the wash would be able to safely enter, maintain on site for the services, and then exit when complete.
How many bays are you going to have again?
So the tunnel itself is an automated system, so it will permit one car at a time, and then we will have, we have three lanes to accept new customers. So 3 pay stations.
So how many cars can you stack at once there in those 3 lanes?
I believe we have, I would have to, looking at plans now, typically stacking would be about 18, but we might have more stacking for this location, and that is something that we can provide as well as a plan that specifically shows the number of cars stacked.
So that's 18 stacking plus whatever's in the tunnel already.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
Yep. And what about the parking itself?
Parking?
Yeah.
Yep. So we, for parking, we provide for employee parking at this, and then the vacuum stalls themselves serve as a parking location for those who are using the vacuum stalls. Right now we have 3 denoted dedicated employee parking stations, as well as 2 ADA parking stations as well. One of which is, both of those are located, if you look at the site plans, to the east, so that they've got an accessible path of travel to the office.
Right. So how many vacuum bays are you gonna have altogether?
Independent parking stalls, just for employee parking is
No, for the vacuum stalls.
For the vacuums.
Yeah.
We have 20.
So you're gonna have 20 vacuums plus 18 stacks plus whatever's on the tunnel, plus the employees.
Correct, 3 stalls for employees.
So over 50, probably was 50 cars, 45, 50 cars. And the reason that I'm asking Mr. Carlucci is because that little corner there, particularly where near the Shumway Street, Sonic Drive has been challenging traffic wise. And there's been fatalities in that little corner there in the past. So I look forward to hear more with regards to the traffic. We didn't talk about lighting yet, but I'd like to believe you're gonna have very well lit parking lot. And correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. All right. How many? One entrance and one exit?
Yes, 1 entrance and 1 exit.
Okay. All right. I would just ask you to again keep in mind what I just said, that area there has been very challenging in the past, and I know personally of a couple fatalities that have happened in that little curve there. But I look forward to and of course, so the noise, because that's a busy area. You have Walmart, you have the Plaza, you have Sonic, you have a lot of traffic in that area, and so that along with good mitigation plans to protect the water, the body of water, which is a conservation area here in the city. I look forward to the next hearing, and that's all my questions. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Mr. Carlucci.
All right, thank you, Councilor. Are there any other questions at this time from the council? Seeing none, any further? Also seeing none, I will entertain a motion now to continue the item.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Letterman, properly seconded by Councilor Whitfield. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll on continuing?
On continuing the item, Councilor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Letterman?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Curran?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Walsh, absent. Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Hurst?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Whitfield?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Williams?
Yes, the item has been continued. Thank you, councilors. Madam Clerk, can you please call item number 6?
Item number 6 is for a special permit to reopen a pre-existing non-conforming use 12-unit residential at the property known as 2612 Main Street.
Right. Is there anyone present to speak to this special permit? Please state your name and address for the record.
Anthony Whitman, 7 Misty Court, South Hadley, Mass. I think the proposal is fairly simple. I mean, the existing building is a 12-unit apartment building, has always been such. It's in a dilapidated state today, and our proposal has been to renovate it, maintaining its existing use and parking on site. And there's a simple site plan attached with the proposal.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Whitman. Councilor Whitfield, I'll pass it to you for the first question.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Whitman, are you obtaining any city funding to help with the rehab of this property?
There's been some CPA funding approved. And then historic tax credits are another piece, and hopefully HDIP tax credits.
HDIP, okay, so you'll be coming back to us for that. All right, that's the only question I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Councilor Letterman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Certainly, I think we all want to see this building come back online. Are you the original developer of this building? I remember when we did the CPA funds, but I don't remember if you were the petitioner at that time.
Yeah, in partnership with Jacob Hanoush, Cedar Construction, who's also on the meeting tonight.
Okay, got it. All right. That was another question I was trying to figure out, but it changed ownership since then. But that is now clear, and I remember that at this time. All right, I'll yield now because I see Councilor Perez has her hand up as well.
All right, thank you, Counselor. Counselor Perez.
Yes, this is in my ward, and this is in a building that has been a depleted building, a decay in Ward 1 for the past, I will say, 6 to 7 years. For the record, I have met with the property owners, and they have presented the plan at the New North Citizens Council, and the council was in favor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Counselor Perez. Counselor Govan.
I was just going to ask about who the, like, I think Council Letterman asked the question regarding ownership and the landlord.
Yeah, sorry, I might have missed the question.
I'm sorry, I was asking who would be the landlord for this property?
I mean, the property would be owned by a limited liability company, which would own and control the parcel and the property itself. Whitman Properties would be the management company dealing with the tenant management, maintenance, things like that.
Okay, yeah, that's my concern, is just maintenance and tenant management. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor Govan. Any other, Counselor Letterman?
Yeah, just one more question for right now, Mr. President. What do you anticipate the price point on the 12 units being?
I think we're hoping that there'll be a $1,350 to $1,450, somewhere in that price point a month per rent.
For 2 bedrooms?
2 bedrooms, either large 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms. There's sort of a mix depending on which tower you're in over there.
Is there any income restriction on the property?
No, not at this point, and not based on the funding that we're applying for.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, Counselor Letterman. Are there any other questions at this time? Seeing none, is there any further deliberation the council would like to have? Also seeing none, with that, I will entertain a motion to continue.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion made by Counselor Govan, seconded by Counselor Allen. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll on continuance? Madam Clerk?
I'm sorry, I was muted this time. I'm continuing the item. Counselor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Letterman.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Kern.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh absent. Counselor Brown.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Hurst.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Whitfield. Counselor Whitfield.
Yes, sorry.
Yes, Counselor Williams.
Yes, the item has been continued. Thank you, councilors and guests. Madam Clerk, is there any further business before the City Council this evening?
There is not.
All right, councilors, well, with that, I want to thank you for joining the call as well as our guests. Have a blessed night and go Celtics.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.